I was told I'd never make it as a writer last week. The professor who failed me bought my novel for his class. Your writing lacks depth. Perhaps consider a more technical field. Professor Harmon scrawled across my final portfolio in senior year. He circled my grade in red. That single grade destroyed my template, jeopardized my graduation, and shattered what little confidence I had in my storytelling. I remember sitting in his office fighting back tears as he explained why I should pursue more realistic career options. Creative writing requires a natural talent that can't be taught, he said, leaning back in his chair. Some people have it. You simply don't. I graduated by the skin of my teeth, that D hanging over me like a storm cloud. For 2 years afterward, I couldn't write a single creative sentence. His words had burrowed deep, becoming the voice in my head every time I opened a blank document. I took a job as a technical writer for a software company, exactly the realistic path he'd suggested. The work was steady but soul-crushing. Each night I'd come home and stare at my personal laptop wanting to write, but hearing his dismissal on repeat. My turning point came when my grandmother passed away while cleaning out her apartment. I found a box of letters I'd written to her throughout childhood, stories about magical creatures and impossible adventures that made her feel less alone after my grandfather died. These stories saved me, she'd written in her journal. My granddaughter doesn't know it, but she's already a writer who's changed someone's life. That night I started writing again, not for professors or publishers, but for my grandmother. I wrote in the early mornings before work and late into the evenings. I wrote on lunch breaks and bus rides. The story poured out of me, a novel about a woman discovering her grandmother's secret past through hidden letters. 18 months and countless revisions later, I had a completed manuscript. 6 months after that, I had a literary agent. 3 months after that, a 2-book deal with a major publisher. When my novel hit shelves last year, the reviews called it profoundly moving and written with remarkable depth. The irony wasn't lost on me last week. My phone lit up with an email notification from my publisher's academic sales department. Professor Thomas Harmon from Westlake University has placed a bulk order of letters to Eleanor for his Acker-created creative course next semester. The same man who told me I lacked natural talent had chosen my novel to teach future writers. I considered ignoring it. I considered writing a scathing response. Instead, I signed the order form and included a note. Professor Harmon, inside this book, you'll find the depth you once thought I lacked. Thank you for showing me that the most important qualification for being a writer is a natural talent, but the resilience to keep writing anyway. I hope your students learn both from my story and my journey to tell it. He hasn't responded. He might never. But somewhere in a classroom next semester, students will open my novel, perhaps some doubting their own abilities, and see my name on the cover. And maybe one of them will realize that sometimes the most powerful story you can tell is the one someone else insisted you couldn't.